Alright, today I'm going to show you how to make a 4-ingredient, low-budget dish, and I like to call it the RogerWood Delight. I have had this for many years. It's a very low-cost and affordable meal, and it will usually feed between 3 to 4 people. So let's calculate the price. So with the rice, it's usually about a cup, 1 cup of rice, and 2 sausage links. What normally comes in the pack are 6. Now I normally buy this because I just love RogerWood sausages. You can use whichever sausages you like, but this is why I call it the RogerWood Delight. With the sausage, it's the same with the rice. I'm using jasmine rice. I find it a clearer cook. I really don't have to rinse it all that much. Even though it's a touch more expensive, you could use regular rice. It's far cheaper, but I just happen to like the jasmine. And like with the sausage and the rice, the onion, you use whichever onion that you like. This is a regular yellow onion. You can use sweet. I do discourage you from using red onion because the taste will just be off. Now we are going to cut up the sausage. You can cut it up however you like. I normally cut it in slices. And then I cut it again down the middle. And you can do this however you like. You can leave it whole, or you can cut it in squares. And now that we have our sausages cut, we're going to move on to our onion. You can cut your onion any way you like. This is just how I do it. Now I usually rinse my onion. Our onion is rinsed, our cutting board is cleared. Now we're going to start cutting. The scraps, you can use the scraps in when you're making a vegetable broth. I go ahead and I store them in my refrigerator until I'm ready to put them in my compost. So let's cut up our onion. Again, you can cut up your onion however you like. I usually cut my onion in slices and then down the middle. And now that everything is cut, we're going to combine our ingredients. It really doesn't matter what order you put it in the pot. Sometimes I like my sausage more brown and crisp, so I'll add it to the pot first, and then I'll saute it a little, and then I'll add my onions. And that just allows everything to cook just a little bit faster once you add the beans. But today we're just going to just add everything into the pot. Our onions, our sausage, our pork and beans, and then I like to add just salt and pepper. And I know this is funny because sausage usually has a lot of sodium, but I use no salt. You can use regular salt, it really doesn't matter. Then for our rice, what you're going to do, you're going to gently rinse the rice to get off the excess starch. Because this is jasmine rice, there won't be a whole lot of excess starch. And then you're going to fill the pot up until your first finger joint. This is quite easy to measure when it's this amount. When it's a larger amount, the water to rice ratio does differ. We're going to move this to the stove. So here is the rice. I've added water and I've also salted my water. I don't know who doesn't salt their rice, but I definitely do. Jasmine rice tends to cook faster than regular rice. Like I said, jasmine rice is my preference. If you prefer using standard rice, then by all means do so. It is cheaper. I'm going to stir this mixture. I just want to make sure that the seasonings are distributed. And you're going to cook this until the onions are nice and tender. Now I am going to cover my rice, and this will help it fluff up. This mixture is just about done. The onions are getting nice and tender. I have done this over 100 times, and it's when I'm using exact measurements that I actually mess up. So take the top off. See how it's all the way to the top? I added just a tad bit too much for the size of the pot. But if you continue to use those measurements, just know that you need just a bit larger of a pot in order to make this work. Also, how I tell if this is done or if the water has absorbed is if I gently tilt it and nothing slides. And after 36 minutes, my onions are nice and tender. And my rice is done. Now I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes just to cool off a touch. Add our rice. Our sausage mixture. Yummy. I don't care if y'all don't like it.